My name is Mirjam van Reisen. I am professor at Leiden University and Tilburg University, and I lead the research project of VODAN. VODAN is a group that works on AI with control over the data locally, particularly in hospitals, in local hospitals. VODAN is implemented across Africa, in Kenya, Uganda, Ethiopia, Tunisia, Liberia, Ghana, Guinea-Bissau, Namibia. So we've really been able to test in what way we can make sure that sensitive data, patient data, can be held locally, but can then add through AI insights both for the doctors within the hospitals, but also for surveillance across. But the data doesn't move. The data stays in residence. So the AI, the algorithms, go to the repositories, and there they do their calculations, but they keep the data within the local repositories. And this is really very, very important to control the data. So if we speak of good AI, we speak of AI that has good data, because rubbish in is rubbish out. So good AI requires good data. And for this data to be controlled in every space where it is necessary, at the African continent, in country, in jurisdiction, within a hospital, we need to think of the data as being decentral. And so the decentralization of the data is now possible. We have very, very good innovators in Africa who know how to do this. And the importance here at the AU PAP is that this really needs legislation, because when we can control the data, we can speak of AI that is governed under sovereignty. And this is why it's very important that the quality of the data and the control over the data is part of the AI agenda.
Thank you so much, Professor van Reisen. You stress the importance of data sovereignty to avoid digital colonialism. Do you envision the framework you're proposing to be similar to the European Union's GDPR in terms of oversight, enforcement, and individual data rights, but adapted to African realities? And if so, what would be the first step toward building such an African AI and data protection authority?
Digital colonialism is a huge issue, and actually also in Europe we are finding that GDPR is not enough. Many of us have actually been scrambling to get our data away from the United States, because we don't know even whether this data is safe there, whether we are safe with whatever is being done on the data there. We have not sufficient data autonomy. We do not have sufficient control over the data. So this is a joint problem between Europe and Africa, actually. And together we can start working out how we can work at scale, how we can work with data spaces, but data spaces in which we control the data. And this is a very important agenda for future collaboration between Africa and Europe.
And in your analogy of the tree and the woods wide web, you propose decentralized data, which you just spoke about, systems rooted in community context. So how can African governments practically implement such decentralized FAIR, that is fair, OLR architectures, especially in countries with limited digital infrastructure or centralized data dependencies?
Thank you. First of all, the question of the woods World Wide Web and the digital World Wide Web. The importance of that analogy is that yes, there are connections, but we can control what happens under the tree. And that was the analogy. We can control what happens in a local area with our data. And so the importance of that is, as many of the MPs of the PAP raised, it's the issue of culture, it's the issue of language, it's the issue of how we do things. And these are always localized. These are always taking place within a specific context. And in fact, it is not only part of the quality of life under AI, but it is also part of the quality of AI itself. Because if we take data away to another place, it doesn't mean the same thing. And that is why localization of data is so very important. And that is where the analogy of the tree comes from. We discuss things in a certain time, in a certain place, in a certain moment. And that is part of the information that this data conveys. And if we speak of quality data, then the quality is in the context, is in understanding the context. And I would say it's a very much an African way of thinking about the world, that things have their time, have their space, have their culture. And it's something that is in danger of being taken away from us through the AI-driven internet. And the solution is that, in fact, by bringing an African way to this, we can add something that is new and that is critical.